Self-love is the new sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, it's W. Mark Watts. I want to say hello, welcome, and thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And today's episode is entitled, Get Ready for Your Get Back. Get ready for your get back. Now, the time that I'm releasing this episode, April 5th, 2020, we're in the middle of this coronavirus crisis, pandemic, if you will. And I've been led or guided to expound upon a conversation I had with you guys a couple of nights ago in which I outlined a couple of bad years or down years a while back in my journey. So I want to go back to that just to dig a little bit deeper and to emphasize to you that you need to get ready for your get back. So I want to go back to late 2004 when my marriage was falling apart. Early 2005, we decided to December of 2004, we decided that we were going to go our separate ways. I started looking for places. February 2005, I moved out. All I took with me were just the bare essentials and enough money to pay the first month's rent and deposit. I rented a condo, and that was that. 2 months later, actually it was a month and a half later, I lost my job with a small mortgage company. It was a commission-based job. I had recently started, so I wasn't making much money anyway, but the company was a smaller company, and we were kind of getting hit hard, unbeknownst to the sales folks, which is what I was in. Lost that job a month and a half after I moved out, had my own place, just barely scraping by, and now I have no job. So I've got to keep working. I have a 4-year-old son that I have to help support. And I find a part-time job, started working that immediately, looking for full-time work in a market that was just beginning to tip down, even though not everyone recognized it yet. The mortgage industry was starting to tip down, so the jobs were becoming harder and harder to come by. Fortunately for me, late April, found another gig in the mortgage industry, full-time gig. So now I'm working full-time and working part-time because I have to pay back a loan that thankfully one of my brothers, Mr. Lewis Mitchell, took out to help me get through that tough period of time. So I'm all out. I'm working overtime in the full-time job, and then I'm working part-time job. So I'm working most days during the week from 7 a.m. until 11, 12 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. So I'm grinding, I'm hustling, starting to break clear. Fast forward to August of 2006, once things had gotten back on track, starting to save a little money again, that's when the market started to dip, really. That company laid me off, which eventually closed a few months after that. So now I'm back where I can't afford to even keep my condo. So I have to turn in the keys to my condo, essentially making me homeless. Now, what do I do in that spot? Still trying to stay afloat, keep my son, or continue to help raise my son. No answers. Mortgage industry tanking. What do I do? So I filed for unemployment, and then I ultimately filed for a job that was really one of the only available ones for me at the time, was a counselor position at a boys camp for troubled youth. And so ended up working there for a while until I just couldn't take it anymore, and decided another good brother of mine, Darren, said, "Hey man, you should come down to Atlanta. There's more opportunities down here." So I moved down there, packed up, moved down there, and started anew. Just kept grinding, kept looking for jobs in the mortgage industry, and latched on a couple times, but then those companies closed down as well. And then ultimately, in mid 2007, is when I switched industries totally and moved into the telecom industry, and was fortunately rescued from that mortgage crash, that mortgage nightmare at the time. So in that time frame, I've been laid off twice. I've been homeless, had to load my belongings into a storage facility, and I lived part-time at the boys' camp. And then the times when I was off work, I would rent or get a hotel room and stay in the hotel room. And when those times when I would keep my son still, he would be in the hotel with me. And I just took it day by day by day. And I've never really shared this story with anybody before. So this has got to be kind of led, because I'm a real private type person. So for me to get on the mic and share this particular story really means something to me. And just as this podcast means something to me, just as those memories mean something to me, just as the audience means something to me, because I want you to understand that we all go through things. And anybody that typically you've listened to on any podcast episode, they may not tell you, but they've been through some things. And that's what leads us to share. And I just want you to understand that we're all alike. We all go through things. And so don't ever think that just because I'm here talking that, I'm so much different than you. It's not the case. In fact, I'm so much more similar to you than you will ever imagine, which is why I do it, because I want to connect. I want to continue to connect with you. And I want you to continue to connect with yourself first, which is what this show is about, connecting with yourself so that you can then connect with other people on a higher level. And it's through these connections that we all raise the level. We all get better. We're all happier. We're all more fulfilled. We're all more loving. We're all more beautiful when we reach out and connect with one another. So I just wanted to give you a little bit better context of a couple years journey, which at this time was about 14 years ago when it started. And the reason why it's highlighted for me right now, because I was thinking about this long and hard today, is that, once I started back on that new gig in the telecom industry, ultimately ended up getting promoted and, really solidifying myself again to the point where I was back on track financially, more emotionally, got my own place again, was really able to do my share of taking care of my son, and life continued to move forward, move onward and upward, because that was my get back, right? So I want to juxtapose that with the current state of the world right now and this pandemic that we're in. Yes, there are moments and there are statistics and there are thoughts, but even amongst everything, the craziness and the reality of what's going on and the fear that's out there, we have to remember that after this storm, the sun comes out again. And so we've just got to continue to do what we have to do. And that's what I wanted to really kind of get to, is when things were really rough for me and I really had no answers, all I could do was I kept fighting. I kept going forward. I asked for help. There were people there who gladly and willingly helped me so that I could get back on my feet. They gave me some rest. They gave me some assistance. They gave me the love and the shoulder when I needed it most, so that I could continue to do what I had to do each and every day until I could get back. And that's what I implore and invite you to do, is do everything that you possibly can yourself. Reach out for help. There are people there to help you. Oftentimes we don't think that. We think that there's no one out here to help us, but there is. There are people that will help us. Reach out, seek out those people. Ask, pray for those people, and they will present themselves to you. Get the assistance you need to help you today until your get back comes around, because it will come back around. And it's very tough out there right now. Trust me, I know, I understand it. And that's why I do what I do. A part of the reason I do what I do is because I just want to continue to shine my light so that you can continue to shine your light. In hopes that you will continue to shine your light. I'm just like you. I have numerous mentors. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly listening to people who are uplifting me every day, uplifting others every day, because I have to keep my energy strong, because, we've got to continue to be smart. We've got to continue to do the right things. We've got to continue to dig in, because on the other side, life is changing. Things are changing. We're never going to go quite back to the way life was. And so my goal is to make sure that as things start to normalize and the sun starts to come out again, that I'm still rocking and rolling, that I'm not going to stop. I don't care what's going on or what anybody says. We have to continue on. I'm going to continue to do the podcast. I'm going to continue to work with clients. I'm going to continue to study and get better and work on my craft. I'm going to continue to look at those things I enjoy doing in my away time. My meditations, my day trading. We cannot get caught focused on the problem. We got to get focused on the solutions. Our own internal solutions. What are our own immediate solutions? What does that look like? What does that entail? Are we giving everything we possibly can toward our day, toward moving forward, getting better for those who may have been sick or know of people who are sick? Have we said our prayers? Are we giving our gratitude every day? Those are the things that will hunker you in, will sustain you, will keep you strong until this storm breaks, because it will break. So I'm going to end there before I turn into Mark the Preacher, which I don't think I really want to do right now. But again, we all go through tough times. I've been there. I can raise my hand. I know. I can testify. I know you've had some hard times. You may be experiencing some hard times right now. But just please remember, get ready for your get back. Get ready for your get back. And the way that you do that is in each and every moment, each and every hour, each and every day. Remember what's most important. Be grateful. Be prayerful. Be guided. Be smart. And continue to work. Just continue to work. Continue to hustle. Continue to grind. Continue to do what you have to do in the moment. And this moment will pass. And things will get better. And we will see the sun on the other side. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for hanging out with you. I love you all. Talk with you again very soon. Bye now.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.